watching Saints Now by Chat Sports. Big things are coming for a very, very exciting rookie. We're going to talk about Devin Neal, and then we're going to get into the mailbag with the Golden Gang, answering questions and responding to hot takes from our subscribers, just like we do every single live show. Let's get you informed on what's going around the Saints offense. First of all, Eric McCoy is going to be out with the season due to a torn bicep, but Kendre Miller, he is also going to be out due to a torn ACL. He was starting to carve out a role. He was starting to do some good things, and I thought he has been very impressive up to this point in the season. The big thing with Kendre Miller has been the lack of availability. So out goes Kendre, and in comes Devin Neal, the rookie 6th-round pick out of Kansas. He was an ultra-productive player for the Jayhawks, has underrated receiving abilities, and he's somebody who I believe could take over as the lead back if Kendre Miller is not a part of the future plans. He has really nice short area quickness. He's very agile. He has great field vision. He's a great blocker, has nice power, and like I said, extremely productive. The all-time leading rusher for the Kansas Jayhawks, back-to-back seasons with over 1,200 yards, back-to-back seasons with 16 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards in 3 straight years. This guy is a great leader. He is a great football player, and he's somebody who I think is going to blossom into a really nice player for the New Orleans Saints. And now Kellen Moore needs to find ways to keep this offense alive now that you do not have Kendre Miller around. One of your most explosive players is gone and is now missing from an offense that already lacked creating explosive plays. So for the New Orleans Saints, I think leaning on Devin Neal a lot would be a smart move. You have to be leaning into the youth already. And although Alvin Kamara is still a really nice running back, I think it makes more sense to lean into Devin Neal a little bit instead of trying to force feed more carries to Alvin Kamara, because I believe that AK has lost a little bit of his step. Still a good running back, but lost a little bit of his step. And we're already seeing a lot of the rookies take over. For example, Danny Stutzman's getting an increased snap count. Kelvin Banks, starter since week 1. Quincy Riley, now a starter. Jonas Sinker, now a starter. Devin Neal, he is now slotted in to be a running back 2 for New Orleans. And I think that the future for this player could be really, really bright. And that's why I want to see him take over and get on the field. And I would like to see him get a lot of run. I think he's a player that deserves an opportunity to show what he's got. And look, we're not going to win a lot of games anyway. It's going to be dull. The offense is going to stink. You might as well see what you got in some of your rookies. Now, coming up, we're going to do a live mailbag. We're going to be answering questions from our subscribers here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. Really quickly, I want to remind you 2 things. 1, like the video. 2, I want you to check out the pinned comment and go and get yourself a Tushy bidet. Look, the Saints, they're a crappy team. It's a crappy situation. It's a crappy season, quite frankly. But it's not that bad. At least it's not as bad now that I have a Tushy bidet. And I've been using my Tushy bidet every single day. I start off my mornings with a ride on my Tushy. And I'll tell you what, it is something that gets you going in the morning. Get your bathroom and your porcelain throne and upgrade and check out the Tushy bidet. It's the everyday luxury bidet that instantly transforms your bathroom habits and bottom health for life. Every Tushy bidet easily attaches to your existing toilet without the need for additional plumbing. You don't need to be an expert. You didn't need to go to trade school. It's so easy, a Falcons fan could do it. Instead of wiping endlessly with toilet paper, Tushy pristinely removes 99% of bacteria while protecting your natural skin barrier thanks to one natural ingredient, and that's fresh water. Every Hello Tushy bidet comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and 12-month warranty. And remember, a-hole is only a dirty word if you wipe. So for a limited time, listeners of Saints Now by Chat Sports get 10% off their first bidet order when you use code CHAT at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet order at HelloTushy.com with promo code CHAT. Click the links in the comments or description of this video to keep that hiney shiny and get a Tushy bidet. All right, let's talk to Shane. First question in our mailbag. What kind of dark magic did DA summon to get Kendre hurt yesterday? Look, so it's pretty fair to say Dennis Allen wins the Kendre Miller feud. Looks like he won. That's all I have to say. Yeah, 1 carry. Then he gets hurt. He's healthy all season. And he gets hurt as soon as he's within 100 yards of Dennis Allen. I don't know, man, but I'd like that same witch doctor to put some good juju on the Saints because I'm a miserable fan. Mikey, what's going on, brother? Now, I know you like the tight end from Vanderbilt, Eli Stowers, who we're talking about. What do you think about Diego Pavia? I think Diego Pavia is a really fun college quarterback. I really think he is an exciting college quarterback. I think that he is a player that is a college quarterback. I'm not saying that he won't have a bright NFL career. I don't know. I'm not one to judge. But I do think with Diego Pavia, he's somebody that he's somebody that I don't necessarily trust to be the leader of my franchise. He's an exciting player, a fun player, no doubt about it. I just don't know if I want him to be my QB1. You know what I mean? Just going to put that out there. Make sure you do subscribe, by the way. We're right on the cusp of hitting 52,000 subscribers. If you haven't already and you want more Saints content, that's 100% free by fans, for fans. Lock us in and join us in the most exciting atmosphere on YouTube or on the internet as a whole, covering the black and gold. CTM, if Saints trade Pete, what would you expect? Okay, so Pete Werner. This is a guy that I've said a lot could be the focus of some trade rumors. If the Saints trade Pete Werner, what would I expect in return? I would like a 4th-round pick because you don't have one. Don't know if you'd get it, just to be totally honest. I like a 4th or a 5th feels like a fair asking price for Pete Werner. Not asking for the world. But he is a player who's productive. He is a player that is experienced, and he can help a defense that needs linebacker assistance. I personally would like a 4th at that's what I would like to get. And if a team's desperate, make him pay up. I would expect a 4th or 5th. I feel like that's a fair trade right there. What up, Shane? Time for Groupie to go. I want Charlie Smith. The grass isn't always greener. I'm just going to say that. Charlie Smith, a lot of reports around him during training camp and during the summer that he has a boot, but really struggled with accuracy. So I'm with you. I would like to see a change made at kicker. I would like to see Charlie Smith get an opportunity because I think he is a really fun player. His story is awesome. However, if you go with Charlie Smith, just understand it may not be better than what it already is with Blake Groupie. Another name I'll throw into the mix, Rodrigo Blankenship. He's been posting a lot of like TikToks and Instagram reels of him kicking like crazy field goals from each week in the NFL season. He keeps draining them. Shoot, man, bring him in for a workout. What's the worst that happens? Mikey Taylor, what's going on, brother? Should Tyler Shuck start if we lose to the Bucs and Rams? I like that you included if we lose to the Bucs and Rams. So if we get to the bye week and the Saints still only have one win, I think that it's fair to say maybe we get Tyler Shuck, at least start getting him ready. I'm not going to sit here and say that Tyler Shuck needs to go in after the bye week, but I do think Tyler Shuck will get an opportunity to start. I do think we have given Spencer Rattler a lot of time, and I do think it is inevitable that Kellen Moore is going to want to see what he's got in his guy. He took him 40th overall for a reason. I can't blame Kellen Moore for wanting to see what happens with that, and for what it's worth, I want to see why. I want to see the 40th overall pick get on the field. Call me crazy. Like, if this was any other player, we would be sitting here saying, can we get this guy on the field? If it was Shador, if it was Jalen Milroe, anyone, we would be sitting here saying, can we get him on the field soon? I'm a firm believer in that. So, God forbid, I want to see a top 50 quarterback get on the field and see what he's capable of doing. Not saying that he needs to get on there right now, but I do think you are going to see Tyler Shuck get on the field. Like, I genuinely do. Proceed with caution, though. No Kendre Miller, no Eric McCoy. Both quarterbacks are going to struggle now, just even more so than they already would have. Jaron, who would you trade and what would you want back? I already said Pete Werner. I would want a 4th. That's one that I would be okay trading. I know a lot of y'all want to get rid of Juwan Johnson financially. It will screw you more than it'll help you. And for a team that is really, really close to being in a good cap situation, I am not in the camp of let's do that right now. Brandon Cooks, I think I would trade. I think you give Justin Reed the option. It's just like I don't want to move off of Chris Olave, although you can get a nice return from him probably. I really don't want to move off of Rashid Shaheed. He's my sweet prince. DeMario, no. Cam, probably, or he doesn't want to go anywhere. AK doesn't want to go anywhere. Isaac Adam? I mean, I don't know, man. It's kind of a tough one. There's not a lot of players that I want to get rid of, or there's a lot of players that you can't necessarily get rid of because it hurts you and it puts you in a little bit of a financial tiffy, if you will. So something to think about. Pete Werner, though, I think is somebody I definitely would be okay with moving. And I think that we're starting to see the rise of Danny Stutzman, Isaiah Stallberg, Jalen Ford. We're seeing them rotate in for Pete Werner instead and playing alongside Demario Davis. So I think that he's a player that might get shopped. Alontae Taylor, actually. Didn't even think about him. Maybe a player also that I would shop. I love football. What's going on, brother? Was watching film on Jordan Tyson. Do you think he would be a good round 1 pick if we get rid of Olave? If you get rid of Olave, yes. I do think it would be a good pick. If you don't get rid of Olave, I still think it would be a good pick, but I would almost opt to trade back and try to get him rather than where the Saints are currently slotted at 3rd overall. I would actually prefer to move back in that regard. But if you do move off of Olave, wide receiver becomes a much, much bigger need. And so I would like to go and add Jordan Tyson. I think he'd be a really fun wide receiver. He'd add a lot of explosiveness to this offense, and that is a big, big need in New Orleans. Queen Courtney, what's going on, girl? Would you go best quarterback, best receiver, or downs in the 1st round? No interest in quarterback in the 1st round. None of these quarterbacks have given me the, oh my God, I need him. I need him. You cannot leave the draft without this player. No quarterback has given me that feeling. I'm not saying you need that feeling, but I also will say you cannot afford to force a quarterback pick. It will set you back even further. Can't do it. I would love Caleb Downs. I would love that pick. That would be an excellent selection. So between Jordan Tyson and Caleb Downs, I would say Caleb Downs is probably my best, or is probably the guy that I would pick there. Jerry G, what's going on? But I also think edge rusher or Arvell Reese, the linebacker out of Ohio State, also could be a good option. There's a couple defensive weapons. I think that would be a good one. Jerry, Trace and Lopez with Miller and McCoy out for the season. Should the Saints elevate players from the practice squad or get some in free agency? So right now in the practice squad, in terms of the running backs, the only guy you have is Velus Jones Jr. on the practice squad. And for offensive line, you have Sherman Williams, who's a guard, Easton Kilty, who's a tackle, and that's it. In terms of running back free agents, let me say this first. In terms of offensive lineman free agents, no, you're not going to get an upgrade. It's just not. You traded for Luke Fortner. That's who's going to be starting. I'm looking up the list of running back free agents available right now. According to Spotrac, available running backs. Let's see here. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. I just don't know all of the running backs available off the top of my head. Zach Moss, Jamal Williams, Gus Edwards, Admir Abdullah, Chase Edmonds, Josh Kelly, Dante Foreman, Chris Evans, not Captain America, but Chris Evans. Yeah, I'll let you take your pick. Devin Neal, get ready to learn a lot of football, and I think you just elevate Velus Jones and maybe you sign somebody off a practice squad. I don't know who all is available in practice squads, but that is something that a topic that we will dive into a little bit further later on in this week. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Jerry G got another question for you. Should Juwan Johnson be benched for the next game and let other tight ends play? No. Why would you bench? You can't bench a player that's making Juwan Johnson's money because who's going to replace him? Can we pull up the tight end depth chart, actually? Let's pull up the tight end depth chart so you guys can see the visual. Because if you bench Juwan Johnson, do you want to see what you have? This is it. Nothing that crazy. And in terms of players on the practice squad, Trayton Welch and Maliki Matavao, you bench Juwan Johnson, Foster Moreau becomes TE1, Jack Stoll is TE2, Taysom Hill is not a tight end. He's a joker. You need Juwan Johnson on the field. Whether you like it or not, he needs to be on the field. And the Saints offense will suffer if he is not on the field, which is insane to say out loud. You can't bench Juwan Johnson. I know you guys don't like him. I know you guys are frustrated. I am too. Can't bench him. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to today's video. We had a great time answering questions and responding to some hot takes. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. For my guy, Loco Lopez, y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time.